Hey everyone, what's up? We are back here with another video today, and today I am doing my Packers Mock Draft February edition. So if you have not already checked it out, make sure you go ahead and check out my first Packers Mock Draft, which I think I dropped in early January. So go ahead back, and it will be on a playlist. The link will be down below. I may put it up there later on in the video. So make sure you check that out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Help me reach my goal of 500 subscribers for the end of the month of February. We're closing in on it, but I also feel a little bit bad because I have not posted a video in a little over a week. Sorry guys, I have been really busy. This is my second semester of my junior year, so I have SATs and ACTs coming up. So fun stuff. So a little bit less content, but hopefully I've been getting some changes around the website, logos, all that stuff. So check that out. You should see the new logos and stuff like that. So hopefully you enjoy them. Like this video down below. Comment your thoughts and opinions down below. Comment your favorite pick, your least favorite pick, what your thoughts are on the draft, who you think the Packers should take, and if you're a Bears fan, put screw the Packers. Also, today the Aaron Rodgers news dropped. Well, non-news. There is no news from Aaron Rodgers, and I think he is just being Aaron Rodgers, and I think many Packers fans agree with me, at least my friend Lincoln, who's been on the show a couple of times. Aaron Rodgers is just being himself and being a little piece of crap. So, either way, enough trashing for the Packers, but let's get into today's video. So, with the 28th overall pick, we'll see if this is the only first-round pick they have. They may get another one through an Aaron Rodgers trade, but at the moment, their only first-round pick is the 28th overall pick, in which I have them selecting Nakobe Dean, linebacker out of Georgia. This is a great fit as he can play inside linebacker, and that is a massive position of need for the Green Bay Packers. I think that the Packers' biggest position of need on that defense, personally, is an inside linebacker. Then it would be a CB2, same as the Bears, with both of the teams having a pretty solid cornerback number one, Jair Alexander and Jalen Johnson, but struggling from there on with guys like Kevin King and Duke Shelley and Kendall Vildor for the Bears. But I think that this position fills a massive need for the Packers organization. So we're going to head on to the second pick in the draft. At pick number 59, I have the Packers selecting Trey Mcbride, tight end out of Colorado State. I think that this is a great pick because, well, no offense to Robert Tonyan, but like, he ain't very good on a peer level, just skills, talent-wise. He's an average tight end at best. But I think the bigger thing is Aaron Rodgers makes him look good, not that he's actually a good tight end. But I think if you bring in a guy like Trey Mcbride, he is a good tight end. He is a solid contributor. And even though I would hate to see him on the other side as a Bears fan, he would be a great addition to the Packers roster. So heading on to pick number 92, I think this also addresses a major need on the offensive end, and that's a wide receiver number 3. That has been a position of quite infrequent, it's kind of wide receiver 2, but I think of Amari Rodgers as wide receiver number 2 kind of now, to Davante Adams, depending on whether you think MVS is or whoever you think fills that void, because there is a massive gap, obviously, between Davante Adams, who I think is the best wide receiver in football, just with the DeAndre Hopkins injuries and stuff like that. I think he really proved it this year that he is. But I think that this could... Romeo Doubs is an explosive player. He did play for a smaller town school. He played for a rival school to the possible future quarterback Jordan Love, who played at Utah State. Romeo Doubs played at Nevada. So I think that there could be a connection there. And I think that it's a good addition to the roster, just because you can never lack enough wide receivers. And I know that as a Bears fan, with their only wide receiver going into this next year, who is, I think, a solid wide receiver in Darnell Mooney, but just nothing outside of that. So it's always good to stack up wide receiver depth, especially if you have basically a rookie kind of quarterback coming in, even though it's technically going to be, I think, his fourth year. So heading on to the next, or not fourth year, his third year, I'm sorry. Heading on to the next pick at pick 130, I have the Green Bay Packers selecting Chase Lucas, cornerback out of Arizona State. I think that this guy has really shot up draft boards, especially with his Shrine Bowl performance and the improvement there. I think that he really could become a solid contributor to their Packers, and even though this is a 4th round pick, I still think it's kind of a steal for the 4th round. And if you get him, I don't know if you start him right away at CB2, but I think it maybe you slide him into there into nickel, because there are a lot of number 1 wide receivers playing nickel. So maybe you slide him in there, maybe you slide him in at CB2 if you think he's ready. But I think that he was ready, and he was really the only good cornerback available for the other picks. So I think that the other picks were just better value, and all those were positions of need. And this was the first time cornerback came up, even though I think it's either position 1 or 2 of need with that and inside linebacker. Heading on to the next pick, 139, 9 picks later, I have the Packers selecting Braxton Jones, offensive tackle out of Southern Utah. So this is a small-town kid, or small-town school kid, that has really exploded and recently, has the physical abilities, has the physical traits and stuff like that, and that's always what you look for when you're looking at smaller school guys. Why are they a smaller school guy and didn't perform at a D1 Power 5 school? With this, I would say the biggest thing with this particularly is the Packers obviously dealt with the injury to David Bakhtiari, who is their star left tackle. But not only that injury, but they had many injuries across the line all throughout the season. So I think that offensive tackle depth can never be enough. So that it's just always good to have more depth, and I think Braxton Jones provides that. I would not start him right away, but I think with Bakhtiari coming back, it shouldn't be a problem. If you just have him as a backup throughout the season, I think that may be a good idea. Heading into the 5th round with pick 170, I have the Packers selecting Wisconsin linebacker Jack Sanborn. I think Sanborn really showed his worth as a leader, as a future NFL solid linebacker, like a kind of a Mike-ish linebacker in the sense of he's the leader of the defense, he's a solid tackler, he stuffs the gap, stuff like that, that really plays into his role on the Wisconsin defense and maybe even the Packers defense. Obviously, he knows the weather conditions and stuff like that, and it's never a bad idea to get a in-town player. That's, I think, is always a good idea. So I really like the pickup of Jack Sanborn to the Packers. At pick 225 in the 7th round, I have the Packers selecting running back Ty Chandler out of North Carolina. I think Ty Chandler, I understand this. You drafted Kylan Hill last year, you drafted A.J. Dillon the year before, and you still have, what's the running back's name? Aaron Jones. I'm sorry, I could not think of that for a second. But you have a myriad of running backs, but I think that you can never have enough running back depth. You just never can. And to be honest, in my personal opinion, I would let Aaron Jones go. I just don't understand the worth in having a running back there. As a Bears fan, I don't think keeping David Montgomery is the greatest idea, even if he just wants to stay for $6-7 million. I just don't think it's worth that much to invest that much in a running back when you can draft a Khalil Herbert and Kylan Hill, guys in the later rounds, and then be just fine. You're using a 6th, 7th round pick, and you're getting a starter in the NFL. I just don't understand the point in drafting a running back in anything above the 3rd round, really. And if you can trade David Montgomery away, or if you can trade Aaron Jones away, I would do that, because what's the point in wasting cap space and money, especially the Packers over $50 million over the cap? And if they need to, they would have to franchise tag, which would put them at $69 million. That's just not a good situation, so I really like the addition of Ty Chandler. At pick 246, this was really a pick in which I looked at who I knew. As a Notre Dame fan, I kind of realized Malcolm Rodriguez, he's a solid linebacker out of Okie State. I think that this is another pickup. I know this is the 3rd linebacker I picked, but again, it's not a bad idea, especially with the lack of depth at linebacker. You have good depth at safety. You have Good depth on the D line, but at linebacker, you'll struggle a little bit, especially on the inside spots. So as always, hit the subscribe button down below. Like this video if you enjoy it. Comment all your thoughts and opinions down below. And like I said, as always, have a great day. Bye.